My name is Doofy Doo, and we are going to use the 4 tools at our disposal in this episode. And bam, Roberta's your mother's nearest female relative. We are going to fix the soldier ant in episode 36. But first, I need to make a decision. Am I going to risk throwing some meat and ending this run, or am I going to move on? I'm going to move on. I have a jar of hiding, just in case, but ugh. I don't like this situation. This is where like a pumpkin muppet finally comes out of nowhere after I've been waiting so long and just one hits me. Oh, what? Was that chance, Shiren the Wanderer, that you spawned me on top of a big landmine trap? At least you didn't spawn me next to it, but I feel like this run is just toying with me now. Like, you could die at any moment, Doofy. Oh, and a monster summon trap at the exit. This room is just death. Ranadillo, didn't I go down the stairs to get away from you? Well, at least I'll have a couple chances. Guess the safest thing is just to make some meat. So I will do that once again, wasting... What? No more charges, eh? Alright, here goes nothing. Whew. That could have been the end of the run, obviously, if I missed. I don't like hanging out in this room and speed healing, though. I feel like with 3 entrances, I could get like triple teamed. I'm gonna just shoot some arrows and go down the hallway. Oh my gosh, seriously? Again. Do I go down the stairs? No, I'm not gonna go down the stairs. I'm gonna take my chances with my mammal meat. Come on, mammal meat. Oh, thank goodness. Now, I know you, viewer at home, are thinking, Doofy, jar of hiding. Why didn't you just use a jar of hiding? Well, that's definitely would save me. Oh, now I get a pumpkin muppet after waiting. This run is just being so cruel. I can't risk getting close to it. I can't. Shiren, you are really trying my patience with this run. But back to the jar of hiding. I could have used it, but because I'm at the beginning of the run and I'm at the beginning of the floor, and all the monsters are still alive, there's too much of a risk that I could come out of the jar of hiding and there'd be like 3 monsters next to me, and then what? I'm gonna throw meat at 3 monsters at once? No, I'm gonna die. So the jar of hiding is really like my last resort usually. Please, just once. All I ask is for 1 piece of semi-delicious meat. I'm not even asking for the best meat. Just even... Oh, see, they can't even give me lilac meat. They're letting me one-hit it with an iron arrow. This floor. Alright, I can't waste too much time. I think I'm gonna be okay. Hopefully. Let's continue our analysis of the soldier ant. Alright, logical and coherent. We said logical, it was boring, the promotion process. Coherent, again, when you think of an ant in real life, what connotations, what ideas does that bring up? You think ants are really strong, and when you attack them, there's a ton of them, and they're running all over the place. I used to live in Texas. And if you've ever lived in the South and stepped in a mound of fire ants, you know that instantly there are thousands of ants all over you, stinging like crazy. Also, ants are kind of attractive in a weird way. I'm not saying that I want to go out with an ant or anything, but my dad used to be an amateur arachnologist, and I know spiders are not insects even, but he also was interested in ants and wasps that are closely related to ants. And ants are, they have a nice shape. They're aesthetically pleasing. The soldier ant is just like, it's like they went down the line of everything you would think of with an ant, and they just completely eliminated them. I mean, of course ants do dig, but digging with a spear, that's just nonsensical. So I'm gonna make a a shop. Oh, a plating scroll. Scroll blessing. Oh my goodness. Identity earth 2, 3, earth 4, earth bless scrolls. This is like going through the desert and you're just dying of thirst. You're like, oh, I'm so thirsty. Oh, and in the distance you see like a vending machine, and you reach the vending machine and it's full of Doritos. Oh my god, this run is just taunting me. Look at all these Earthblast scrolls. Oh, you don't have a shield? What a shame. Oh. But yeah, whoever, again, partially it's the fault of the translator who translated it to Soldier Ant, because they should have known if they had played NetHack that they're going to raise people's expectations. But yeah, it's a horrible design, and we're going to fix it. Ants are also known for carrying things, but you can't have an ant really pick you up and carry you. Oh, I guess you could. It'd be alright. It's a little bit... You're stepping on Roid Kitty's territory a little bit with that design, and also a little bit of a kidney seed if you're like being carried somewhere against your will and then deposited. But anyway, so logical and coherent, complete and utter failure. The most incoherent design in the entire game. Unique and promiscuous. Unique, yeah, there's no other monster that can dig through the wall, so I'll give it that. Promiscuous, because it takes a whole turn to dig, it potentially changes the strategy during a fight with another monster, but in practice, I really don't adjust. Hey, finally, just give me, oh gosh, sometimes I suggest making a fix of, oh no, I'm starving to death, of making really useful meat like Air Devil meat and Pumpkin Muppet meat a lot harder to get, because usually I'm getting it like left and right. Like every other Pumpkin Muppet I kill is going to give me some meat. At least I got some fluffy bunny meat. Sometimes I run around as a fluffy bunny because you can heal yourself and no one can really kill you, but I'm just not going to do it this time because I need as much meat as I can get, so I'm going to revert. But yeah, I give the Soldier Ant a failing grade even in promiscuity, because I don't change my strategy much when I'm fighting another enemy in a Soldier Ant. And then finally, fair and funny. Is it fair? No, it's fair. It's like too easy to be fair. It doesn't hit that sweet spot of being challenging but not impossible. It's not challenging at all. You see a Soldier Ant, you're just like, meh, of course I'm going to kill it. It does no damage and I'm not worried at all. So fails on fairness, not because it's unfair, but because it's like too easy. And funny, it is not funny at all. There's nothing funny about that design. It looks like one of those cooties from that game you play when you're a kid. You know, those little plastic like cootie insects. One of the most pointless children's games ever, but I do like those little plastic cooties you put together just as a model. You know, that game was launched in 1949. It's a really old game. Anyway, I'm getting off track. The design is not funny at all. So I'm going to make some controversial decisions as we're redesigning the Soldier Ant. But let's go through one by one and just fix this horrible, horrible design. The first thing I'm going to talk about is just the appearance of the monster. In appearance, the Soldier Ant is not remarkable. It looks like a sort of man-ant hybrid. And one shortcoming in Shiren is that a lot of the monster designs have a sort of overall masculine appearance. I don't mind if some of them are, but when your only female enemy is like an enemy that curses you, it's not really good representation. You could make the argument that some of the monsters that don't have an obvious gender could be female. For all you know, the Roid Kitties are female too, and they just have beards. But, you know, it seems as though a lot of the designs of the monsters are male. This mini tank, I don't know. And I don't want to add any kind of female signifiers, like put a bow on the head of the monster or something. But you could give the Soldier Ant more of an ant-like figure, and that would suggest some feminine qualities. Because if you look at an ant in real life, a lot of times the soldiers and almost all the ants that do all the work are female. So that would be coherent again. And it would improve the overall look of the design. So I'm also in favor of changing every promotion slightly. So you would alter the sprite a little bit with every promotion. You wouldn't just have a palette swap. And level down this warrior so it doesn't kill me. But yeah, so first of all, I'm going to make the design female. Ouch, 25. Sheesh. Alright, I'm going to run away, but this dead, Skull Wraith. That's what I thought was gonna happen. Now I gotta deal with the Skull Wraith. Oh shoot, I just realized I should have reverted as that twisty Hanny and tried to get some evil soldier meat. That could have come in handy. Oh well, might regret that later. Anyway, so we got it. Female design. I'm not going to draw a picture or anything, but you can imagine it. It looks more female. Doesn't have a bow or long hair or anything. No enormous ant boobs. That always bugs me when they put giant boobs on armor for no reason. So nothing ridiculous, just make it look like a regular ant, which is already naturally feminine in appearance. Also, digging with a spear makes no sense. You can put a shovel on one end and a spear on the other if you like, or have it dig with its mandibles, but that needs to be fixed, so we'll fix that. Now let's look at the first two qualities, which are its major areas of weakness. I'm going to leave the level 1 ant the same, just as the Chintala, so I'm not trying to change things so drastically that you don't even recognize the monster anymore. But for the level 2 soldier ant, I'm going to give it a +2 to movement after it's attacked. So before it's attacked, just normal, digging, attacking. But as soon as you attack it one time, it's going to get angry, just like a real ant would. And it's going to have double movement. So not double attack, just double movement. It would have the attack pattern basically of a Death Reaper. Alright, next promotion, levels up again. It gets double movement after being attacked, and at the same time, another ant appears. And I don't know enough about the balance of the monster, I have to playtest it, to know if that other ant that appears is going to be the same level, or if it's going to be one level below. I'm guessing it might be one level below. And it wouldn't be like the little wee bells, the shoe bells and man bells, where the monsters drop down, because that's not coherent. They'd have to dig up through the ground. But at some space around the ant, once it gets attacked, it gets angry, so it gets double movement, and another ant appears, digs up through the ground. So all of a sudden, you're dealing with 2 monsters instead of 1. That adds some depth. And then the final promotion, it's going to get, again, by this time, if you're getting to a level 4 soldier ant, you should have some pretty impressive equipment, so we can go all out. It gets attacked, it's going to get double movement and double attack, and there's going to be 2 more ants appear. So that is a pretty intimidating monster. That also adds some humor, because with double attack, they can dig twice in a turn, so they could dig and then attack, or dig 2 times in a row. You can imagine a room getting filled with ants. That's kind of a funny death. So, yeah, I think those fixes do some justice to the idea of the ant. Basically, it's getting angry, and there's a lot of them, so that's much more coherent. I thought briefly about giving it some poison ability, but there's no precedent for having a monster with 3 abilities. That sacrifices too much simplicity, so I scratched that. As you can see, this mini tank meat is really useful, but I seem to be trapped. Now I'm postponed. Uh-oh. Yeah, you tried to knock away my shield. I don't have a shield. I wonder if you can actually knock away my Boofus cleaver. I'll have to do that experiment sometime later. Alright, we did it! We fixed the soldier ant. I'm so happy, because I really dislike that design. It's depressing to me in such an amazing game that they would defile the idea of the ant in such a bland way. Because I really like ants in real life, and I like ants in other games. Giant ants are usually like the craziest, scariest enemies you run into in a lot of other games. But in this game, not scary at all. The scariest thing about the soldier ant is you know it's going to slow down your speed healing, because the game has to process all its digging. Alright. I think maybe I'll explore a little bit more. The danger with exploring and killing enemies as a mini tank is that I'm not getting any more meat and I'm running down my fullness. And I already ate my last rice ball, so kinda wish I had some meat. I know what you're thinking, Doofy, look at all that money. You could swap it out and throw it. Screw the money, I have rules. I will not throw Gaitans. By the way, if you got that reference, congratulations, you are like some kind of meta nerd. You're like a nerd wrapped inside of another larger nerd. Because that was pretty obscure. Next episode, we will fix another broken monster design. Not quite as bad, but still bad. What will it be? Find out next time. See you then. I love the smell of pumpkin muppet meat in the morning. You know, once I played Faye's final puzzle for 12 hours. When the run was over, I looked up. I didn't find one of them. Not one stinking strengthening jar. The smell, you know, that Thanksgiving smell, the whole jar smelled like victory. Someday, this talk through's gonna end.
Look at all these earth blast scrolls. Oh, you don't have a shield? What a shame.